We now welcome in Super Bowl winning coach, the one and only Steelers head coach Mike Tomlin. Welcome to First Take. What's up, Coach? How you doing, sir?
Great. Always good to be on with you, Stephen A.
I appreciate you, man. Thanks so much. News of the day right now. Let's get right to it. It's been a while since we spoke. TJ Watt, a lot of questions as to whether or not he's going to be available this Sunday over his contract situation. What can you tell us about what's going on with TJ Watt and whether or not he'll be available this Sunday?
You know, I am hopeful. I'm not in the negotiations, but I'm close to it. I know that it's been moving. I understand that we're in the 11th hour. Usually these things transpire in that way. I don't know where we are within that 11th hour, 11:15, 11:45, or what have you. But I'm optimistic, man. I always generally got an optimistic attitude. I know he's a quality player and a really good man, and we're always interested in doing long-term business with people like that. So I'm optimistic that it's going to get done. I'm optimistic that you're going to see him in uniform this weekend. But we're still in the midst of negotiations.
Coach, you're known as a player's coach. You obviously have great relationships with a lot of the players. I know business is business, and obviously you leave it to management to handle those things from time to time. But how involved do you find yourself getting from time to time when it comes to a player of this magnitude, knowing how important he is to the success of the franchise?
You know, I'm into managing him through the circumstances. I think that's the best road or the best role that I can play. It's a troublesome time for players, man. He's a competitor. He wants to play. And so I work hard to manage him through that, to make sure that he's hearing the things that he needs to hear. He's supported in those ways, that from a physical conditioning standpoint, he's ready to go when business gets settled, et cetera. That's my role in it. In terms of direct role, in terms of sitting across from the table from one another and talking numbers, that's not my bag.
Coach, let me transition to your quarterback, Ben Roethlisberger. Obviously, for the most part, had a pretty decent season as far as I'm concerned last year, but he tailed off at the tail end of the season. Obviously, y'all lost in the playoffs to the Cleveland Browns. There was retirement contemplated, at least according to reports. But Ben Roethlisberger is back. What kind of season are you expecting from him this year?
Man, quite frankly, man, I'm expecting great things. I think the coolest thing about this whole 12-month process is immediately after the season, he was very definitive in his desire to play from the moment that game was over. And I think his actions and his preparedness have kind of reflected that since. He's had a really good camp in preseason. He's in tune every day. He's having fun. He's doing a great job of not only playing the position of quarterback, but leading the young guys that we have in our offensive unit, man. We're scheduled to play some young guys this weekend and beyond. I think he's embraced that element of it and is really acting as a mentor in a lot of ways, formally and informally, in terms of being a component of the development of the young guys. So I'm expecting big things from him like I'm expecting big things from all of us.
Do you expect this season to be his last? Has he given you any indication as to whether or not that would be the case?
Hey, I know one thing. He's seen more seasons than he's going to see. And so I think he has that mentality, and I think I got that mentality, man. We're enjoying 2021, and we'll look at 2022 and beyond at the end of this one. For guys like him and for guys like me, we both kind of long in the tooth, man. We've been on the job a long time.
I understand that. Coach, let me ask you this question. I'm looking at Ben Roethlisberger, looking at some of his numbers. He threw the ball last year 608 times, fresh off of elbow surgery. As you reflect on that, was that a mistake that he threw the ball that much? And is that something that's going to be different this year? Or do you feel like, it was the right thing to do?
Hindsight is 20/20, but, in the midst of it, we knew it was a mistake. But we did what we had to do in order to keep the train moving. Our run game was not up to snuff a year ago. We struggled in that area. We struggled to stay on schedule when the run component was a significant component of what we did. So we had to lean on them. And largely it got us out of stadiums. But as you all know, we weren't able to finish in the manner in which we would like to. And so there's consequences for that. Consequences that we understood then and consequences that we understand now. Hopefully we're not in that lane as this season develops this year. I know we're not planning to be, and I know we're not building our program to be in that area.
Coach, I love the fact that y'all drafted Najee Harris out of Alabama. I was praying that he would land with you guys, obviously, and he definitely did. But there's still questions as to whether or not your running game will be stout because so many people look at this squad, and the concern is the offensive line. What can you tell us about how you're feeling about your offensive line going into this season?
I tell you, 22 is not a concern. He is everything that we expected him to be, not only from a talent standpoint, but an approach to business standpoint. He is all business. He's a competitor. I'm excited about infusing him into our scheme and watching him impact the running game in a very positive way. But as you mentioned, the bulk of it does fall on the offensive line, and we're challenging them in that way, and they're embracing it in that way. We got to be better than we were a year ago. I fully expect us to be, and they're working with those intentions day to day.
I'm a fan of Juju Smith-Schuster, but last year clearly was not his best season. I want to know what kind of conversations you've had with him in terms of your expectations for him this upcoming season. Speculation as to whether he would leave the Steelers, ultimately return to the Steelers. I love Chase Claypool and the rest of the crew, but Juju Smith-Schuster, what have you talked to him? What kind of things have you said to him about the kind of season he needs to have?
Something that I could share with you all that's significant. He's a leader of the group. He's a young guy. But he's the most experienced guy in the group, and he's a leader of the group. Guys like Chase Claypool, Deontay, James Washington. We got a really talented and deep group, but Juju's the elder statesman, and there's responsibility that comes with that in terms of day-to-day approaches to work, to educate them in terms of what's professional and what's expected, how we face and push through adversity. He has experience in all of those areas that he's capable of sharing with others, and I think it's reasonable to expect him to do it. He's a tremendous team player. His talents are his talents, but I'm equally as interested in some of those type contributions here in 2021.
Coach, I'm not going to get into the defense because I expect it to be elite, especially if T.J. Watt returns. I'm just going to leave it at that. But before I let you go, I'd be remiss in neglecting to ask you about your approach to this season in regards to COVID-19, COVID protocols. Last year was a real tough year. You've got the NFL putting in these protocols, et cetera. I want to know what your thoughts are about all the things that have been implemented and the expectations that players themselves should be vaccinated and putting themselves in the best position to be available for this upcoming season, sir.
I think, first of all, I framed it to our football team that it's a challenge, but it's fair because it's a challenge for all of us, meaning all 32 teams have to combat it. And so I want us to combat it relatively well. By that, I mean, I want us to be in position where we utilize the inconvenience of the circumstances as a winning edge for us. And largely, our guys have done that. Vaccination hadn't been a large discussion with us. The vast majority of our group has been vaccinated, not only through summer training, but even dating back to the spring. We haven't had to talk a lot about that. We've got a can-do attitude as it pertains to rolling with the punches of the ever-changing protocols. About every few days, man, we get a new memo. Hey, man, whatever that memo says, we're going to do, and we're going to do it in the right spirit. We're not going to let it dominate our day, and we're going to try to keep our collective energies focused on the football business. Man, we're all blessed, man. We get an opportunity to work. We're all getting challenged through the pandemic, but we point out people that are in the service industry within the last 12 months or so that didn't even get an opportunity to work. There are some disadvantages in terms of the things that we have to deal with, but we are getting an opportunity to pursue our hopes and dreams and do our jobs. And so we try to maintain that perspective. We try to maintain a can-do attitude. We try to attack the protocols. We want to make it a winning edge for us. And that's our general attitude, and so far, so good. But obviously, week in and week out, as we deal with the issues pertaining to it, we all, meaning us, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and everybody in the NFL, are going to have their work cut out for them.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.